Robert with WTP Sports News here live this morning, this rainy Saturday here in Columbus, Ohio. I got my man Parlay Poe with us this morning. How you feeling, bro?
I can't complain. Ain't nobody gonna listen to me. I'm good. How y'all doing, fellas?
I'm good,
Straight,
man. I'm good. I'm
straight.
good. We also got the young buck of the crew, the man behind the scenes, helping us through all this technology. Our man, Fan Dude Zaya. How you feeling this morning?
Man, I'm good. I just want to tell the people, we got this crazy group chat. My debate record is like 101, 0, and 1. I'm undefeated. I've been into like one tie.
Stop it.
I'm gonna second that parlay. Stop it. Last night we had some NCAA women's action last night, and we saw Texas go down to South Carolina, 57-74. What did South Carolina do to win this game pretty easily in the second half?
Man, I think they probably got the highest level notch of defense that they can have as spurts in the game, bro. Like they just cut the defense up for real. Um, if you anytime you get a single digit quarter that you hold your opponents to, you playing some crazy defense. But I thought they had two of their better girls. They run like they got seven girls to me, in my opinion. That's just like top notch, like championship level caliber players. Two of them didn't play well, but really, they all played well for real. Sometimes you can't equate missing shots of playing bad. I thought they all played well, except for like their two of their top level girls. But there's so many top notch girls on their team that you can have two of them not show up, and you got five other ones. When the girl Bree is hitting, I think they scary, bro. They are super scary when she hitting.
Yeah, I think the defense did step it up, but they played big. They disrespected Texas, man. I seen one time when they showed this graphic when everybody was inside the lane, and and uh, and the Texas girls was at the 3 point line, and they wasn't even looking at them. They was inside the lane. All them girls is inside the lane. That's disrespectful, man, to Texas. You know what I mean? Like, but they did play. They played big. They played big, and they shut down, like you said, that Zaya, that defense was nice, and then they hit outside shots. I didn't think South Carolina could hit outside shots like that. They hit some nice outside shots with Fuellen and Pow Pow. They played well. So I didn't want to see a blowout, but they stepped it up at the in the second half.
Yeah, the fact that they understood it, and that's just great coaching, man. They understood that Texas is not a team that's going to knock down a whole bunch of threes. Even though the freshman Lee hit a couple of threes in that game, she was really their only three option, but she's a freshman. She's not going to be somebody that's out there on the court a lot. And Shay Holly, we thought she was going to be much better, being a fifth-year senior, played a really good last year. She did nothing. Then Maddie Booker got in foul trouble. It
Yes.
was really over after that. It was like you have no scoring option uh, when you can't hit the three, and then they can just pack it in on your big girl. So I think that South Carolina just had the perfect game plan for Texas the last two times that they played them in the SEC championship and in this Final Four. That and like you said, Parlay, they was knocking down shots, bro.
Yeah.
They was feeling it. They was feeling it. Everything worked out in their favor, and they played excellent ball game in that game yesterday.
Yeah, Maddie wasn't the same after the foul trouble, man.
She was not the same
Mhm.
after the foul trouble.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she wasn't the same because she came out balling. I'm like, okay, Maddie, I'm with her. You know what I mean? I'm like,
Yeah.
okay. And then next thing she got them fouls, it just seemed like she just let all the air out. Second half, she didn't even want the ball no more. You know what I mean? I was like,
Yeah.
She
I like
came out. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Zay.
I like to give credit to Don Staley too, man. She can coach, bro. She can coach. Uh, I mean, I just felt like the game plan coming in was just to a T. It was to a T.
Yeah, it was for sure. I mean, especially once you done seen the team 3 times already, and you already know what their limitations are. You can go ahead and beat up on them. And Maddie Booker looked like she was ready to put the team on her back in that, in that first quarter, right?
Yeah.
Well, like you said, that foul trouble hit her, and it was a no go from there. Even though they was only down 3 at halftime, once she got that third foul, it really was curtains.
Yeah, that's Lady Kevin Durant though. I don't care what nobody say.
She could ball.
She's a monster.
Yeah, she could ball. She could
She
definitely ball.
This offseason, she has got to develop a three ball. She
Yeah.
got to have a complete package. Now she might knock down one every now and then, but she got to be somebody that you got to guard me everywhere. Otherwise, they're gonna go ahead and do what they been doing lately on her, either fouling her or keeping her from getting in that mid range game. The second game surprised me, and I didn't get a chance to really watch it, so I'm gonna rely on y'all to give me the details on this one. Number 2, UConn 85. Number 1, UCLA 51. Was it just an off night for UCLA, or was UConn just that good?
Oh nah, Gino outcoached UCLA's coach terribly. Hey, listen.
Yeah.
First of all, this what he did to him. He was switching up the defense so much they couldn't even figure out what to do for real. So they trying to run this up and down game, and you got the biggest girl on the court. You got to figure out a way to slow the game down, not speed it up. They play right into UConn's hands, bro. I'm just like, man, y'all ever gonna slow the ball to slow the game down and just force feed her? Like, ain't nobody 4 or 5 inches within her height range. You got to figure out a way to slow the game down, bro. I thought they should have did like a little 2-2-1 press or something just to like kind of get them to their speed, you know what I mean, or something. But like the way Gino was switching them defenses, going from man to zone to picking up full court, like he just had them all discombobulated the whole time.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm talking about like you said, I was gonna say the same thing. Gino outcoached her, but you know what I mean? It's Gino. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's Gino. So you know what? Every time they threw the ball down to Laura, I don't know what he was telling them, but he was telling the little girls to swing at the ball no matter what. Because as soon as they throw it to her, they would swing it and wasn't even near her. You know what I mean? They would swing. So she was like self-conscious with the ball sometime. You know what I mean? So he had that defense like that. And then Paige Buckets, man. Paige Buckets, she can play. And then the one little guard, she impressed me. The light-skinned chick, I don't know her name.
I can't pronounce it. It's like a Zizzy or something.
Yeah, she impressed me this game. I was like, if she played like this next game, South Carolina might be in trouble. She played well, man. So UConn and South Carolina, everybody want to see it again. UConn beat them. You know what I mean? So you want to see that.
They got a triple threat though with Paige been going off, but she ain't go off this game. So we was waiting to see like if she don't go off, who gonna step up? The girl Sarah Strong was balling, and she a freshman, man. You don't expect no freshman to lead your team in scoring in a Final Four game for real.
Right.
But yeah, that little 3-headed monster. They said they the most efficient in the tournament. Them three players. Like out of any 3 players from any team, they're the most efficient through the tournament, man. They're gonna be tough, bro. They're gonna be that final game. If they play like that, bro, they might win for real because they don't miss a lot of shots.
They don't. I mean, I think I ain't for sure, but I think the Fagan girl from here, is she from here?
Fagan, she might be
South Carolina.
I'm about to look it up.
They were saying that she's from Columbus. Now I'm not 100% sure.
Because that's the Fagan used to play for Briggs. I think that's his niece or something.
Or
something.
Yeah. Fagan had game too.
Yeah.
He can play.
Let me see. I gotta see.
Yeah, I heard that was that she's from Afrocentric.
Yeah.
So So, what do y'all think is going to be the keys for both teams in order to win that championship on Tuesday?
Well, it's gonna be. I'm talking about they both gonna try to play defense. You know what I mean? It's the key is the defense, but it's like who gonna step up, like because they match up. They match up well together, man. They match up well together, but it's gonna have to be an X factor on either one. So I'm gonna say the key is the defense and keep South Carolina, UConn gonna have to keep South Carolina big girls off them boards, and UConn is gonna have to tell South Carolina, y'all gonna have to make this outside shot. Y'all gonna have to make this. I ain't a believer. Y'all gonna have to make this shot. You know what I mean? Play them like that. That's what I think.
Yeah, I think it's going. This is really. I don't think South Carolina's offense is nowhere near UConn's defense, but like I said, I think their defense is next level. Like that might be the best defensive team in the country. They just got another gear to them. So really, it's gonna be a battle of the styles to me. But that's what I'm saying. I don't think South Carolina got. They don't got a Paige or a Sarah Strong over there. So they better figure out a way to slow them two down, because I think them is the two X factors. Like if you let either one of them get loose, it's over for you. It might be night, but like we want to see too though. This is one of them dynasties is starting. So I'm low key rooting for South Carolina. I want to see 3 and 4 years. You know what I mean? I want to see that. So it's gonna be a hell of a game. I know that. When they play tomorrow or Monday?
They play Tuesday.
Tuesday.
They play tomorrow at 3.
Oh, they play tomorrow. Oh, okay. I thought they played the day after. What's it? Oh, tomorrow. Woo, that's a quick turnaround. Well,
yeah,
that men's is the same way. So Zaya, when you say those two, they got to be able to stop those two. What do you mean by they got to be able to stop those two? What do those two do that South Carolina got to stop them?
Well, Paige is just a bucket. She scored from all 3 levels. You know what I mean? And she's a 6-foot point guard. So she kind of a matchup nightmare. The girl Sarah, she got a little bit of everything too. Like she shoot threes, you know, she's 6'2", she a forward. So she can go on the block if she got a mismatch in that aspect. You just gotta try to bother them. You know, you're not gonna stop nobody like them two players. You got to just try to affect them. You know what I'm saying? So might have to switch up your defenses. You know, you might have to run 2 at them if they start catching a little hot fade. You just got to switch it up like Gino was doing against Lauren and them. You got to just give them different looks.
Yeah, I agree with that. What's y'all's thoughts on the girl who comes off the bench for South Carolina, Wiley? She is athletic as all get out. Do you think she can give them some issues? That's UConn. Can she give UConn some issues?
Yeah, she can. She can, but she can. You see, Don be controlling because she can get a little out of control sometimes. You know what I mean? Don be controlled because Don, she'll set you down. She'll set her down in a second. But she can, if she under control, she can. And I think that's what they're going to do. They're going to try to put her on ball, the pressure, you know what I mean, that when she get in the game. Because she's the 6th woman of the year, SEC. So they're going to try to put her in the pressure of the ball. She can give them some problems if she play her game.
Man, I think it's the other girl, though. I think it's the big girl, Edwards. I think what they need to be watching out for. She had a college triple-double, you know? She had that's what I call a college triple-double when you got 2 double figures in 2 categories and then you halfway with another one. That's a college triple-double.
Are you just moving the goalposts?
Nah, listen, she had 13 points, she had 11 rebounds, she had 6 assists. That's a college triple-double, bro.
Also called moving the goalposts.
Nah, man.
That's one of your favorite lines. That's one of your favorite lines. That's all I'm saying.
You do be moving the goalpost. You know you do. But I'm saying,
Probably
when do you really see how often do you see dudes actually or women actually getting triple doubles in college?
Yeah, that's true.
You
That's
don't.
true.
She got a triple single.
Oh man. So today's action, we got the men's Final Four. First up, I think we got Florida and Auburn, 2-1 seeds. Do y'all know what the status is on Broom? Is he going to be a go?
Yes.
They ain't missing this game for the
Yeah.
world, man.
Yeah, man. He ain't missing this. They ain't been
Is
in it in
there
a while. He ain't missing this.
is there a percentage that we can put on his health? Is he 75, 80, 90?
Yeah, I
I
say
don't know.
I'm gonna say he gonna be about 80%. I don't think he 100% at all, but a lot of people ain't 100% when you get to the end of the year.
If he's out there playing and he's not giving them the production that they need, what would you do as a coach?
He still got to play long as he ain't fouling. You know what I mean? But if his man is getting off and he can't move or something like that, that's different. You know what I mean? Like if he can't move and his man is killing him, then you're gonna have to go to that bench, whatever works. But if he out there still giving them good minutes, whatever, you're gonna have to rely on him, and to be out there on that court.
Yeah, at the end of that last game, man, he looked like he couldn't move his arm for real until he shot that three, and even after that. So if he out there throwing these one-handed passes and just trying to rebound with one arm, I might have to sit him down. It depends how the game going too, though. But he still will be a decoy out there. They still have to pay attention to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Well, what does Auburn need to do to win this game today?
I mean, stay with the regular program. Y'all been the best team in the country all year long. Do what you got. What made you get here? You got to be the same. Don't be trying to be something you ain't today. And if Broom is having a game where he looking like his regular self, feed that man. Give that man the ball. He's a player of the year candidate for a reason. But we need one of these guards. We need Pettiford or Kelly or Jones. We need one of these dudes to have a good day.
Yeah. You right about that. I'm talking about, like you said, stay in their realm. I'm talking about they've been the best team. So what they're gonna have to do is like throw that ball. See what they're working with inside out. You know what I mean? Inside out, because them guards going. If Pettiford and Denver Jones, if they get going, it's gonna be a whole different game. Because they're gonna counteract what Clayton Jr. can do. You know what I mean? So they had to get off, dump it down the Broom. You know what I mean? Broom working out. So when the ball come to you is your time, hit that open shot. You know what I mean? Don't do nothing you ain't been doing all year. So they got a good chance. Everybody got a good chance right now. Everybody in the Final Four. It's a
Yeah,
puncher's chance.
hey, everybody got 25% chance to win it.
Yeah.
How can Florida punch their ticket to this national championship game tomorrow? I mean, today when they play.
I go Poe. I mean, listen, Walter Clayton probably been one of the best players in the whole March Madness tournament. But it's the same thing with them. You gotta, but kind of opposite, I guess. You gotta get something out of Alex Condon, who I think is their best big man. He can stretch the floor. He got a little bit of block work, but I mean, at 6'11", man, he got to give me more than what he gave against Texas Tech. And look, this a whole new level of with the type of big man you going against. Like if you couldn't do it against JT Toppin, it's scary hours for you against John A. Broom. You know what I mean? But I got faith that he can play and compete with these type of guys. I just think he had a bad game. But they need something out of Elijah Martin. They need something out of the other dude that came off the bench, the big boy that was hitting the threes against Texas Tech. They need to, like, you don't got to have the 20 that you had and the 11 rebounds, but give us something the same energy. You know what I mean? It can't just be a one-man show. You're not about to beat the unanimous best team all season long with just a one-man performance. It's other guys that's got to step up. Now we need the same thing out of you too, though, Walter. You got to hit big shots. You got to kind of control the feel of the game for your team. But I don't think just Walter going off or something is going to beat this team. Now it need to be a team effort.
You're right about that. Warren Clayton can't do it by himself. Florida got to be athletic, man. Like they been. You know what I mean? Like some. Hold on. Hold on. Who was that?
Yeah, I think that Florida, they definitely got to get some point production from Hall off the bench, and they also got to make sure that that big takes advantage of whatever issues Broom might have in this game. He has to take advantage of that so that he can help his team make it to that championship game.
Go ahead, Paul.
Florida got to be athletic. You know what I mean? Like I said, you know what I mean? They can't wait to the end of the game and have Walter go off, because if they down like that and try to come back on that Auburn team, it's not gonna go. You know what I mean? Because they skilled, man. Auburn is good. They playing like the team that we said at the beginning of the season. You know, when they went through that little slump, lost a couple games, but now they back. So you know what I mean? Like Florida cannot get down and have Walter Clayton try to bring them back. They got to play athletic, guard, you know what I mean, and make open shots. And their big man got to, even if they can't stop Broom, they're going to have to be a big man by committee. They're going to have to switch different dudes. If Broom is 100% and getting off, they're going to have to, don't be scared to switch, put different dudes on Broom, because you're going to have all these fouls. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to have him earn it, even if it's from the charity stripe. You can't just let him get straight off like he did.
Right.
I wonder, and I'm quite sure they've been giving Broom therapy all week. I wonder, he probably haven't really been practicing though. I wonder if he's just been running, like run work and then just therapy, 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 therapy. I mean, sports medicine man, it's light years be ahead of what it used to be. I'm
Yeah,
anxious to see what he's gonna look like, man, and what they did during the week to get him ready.
Yeah, treatment 3 times a day. That's what it is.
yeah.
Treatment 3 times a day. Nah, he probably didn't even really. He probably did a couple like little individual work, but he didn't practice. I'm telling you, he ain't
Yeah,
practice. You don't
yeah,
need to practice at this time. Now you just need to go out there and hoop.
yeah. And just probably did some bike work, light run work or something like that.
Hmm.
Nightcap, we got number one Houston versus number one Duke.
That's
Can
crazy.
Houston win, and what must they do?
Man, that's a trick question for real. It's like, what must they do? What I mean, the question should be, what can they do?
Yeah,
I don't know, man. I see no possibility of them winning this game. I mean, they too little for real. When I look at it, they really too little, bro. Like Cooper Flag taller than everybody on their team that
yeah.
play.
Like like you said, they got a 25% chance. they, they they got a 25% chance to win. But look, what they got to do, man. We already know they can play defense. We already know. Uh, Crier and them, and they got the big boy in the middle. He can play. But how long Duke is in that middle, and they got dudes that come in that's long. Uh, if they guard dude right, it's gonna be, you know, how these dudes, long dudes, you know how to block shots, whatever. They got middle dudes like that. And for guarding Cooper Flag, it's gonna be a mismatch. This the game I really want to see. You know what I mean? I want to see how Cooper do against this defense. You know what I mean? And then everybody don't know Proctor. Uh, Proctor, he ain't he the dude, but what's his name? Newbeck or something.
Cooper Nickel.
Yeah, he the second dude for real. You know, he that second dude for real. He ain't been getting off, but the last game he had a nice game, and he can shoot, man. He one of them Duke dudes that can shoot, and I think he got a chip on his shoulder, so I think he might get off tonight. So I'm going with Duke.
Yeah, I'm listen. it's only one way that Houston can win this game because they not about to stop Duke, bro. Uzan, Sharp, and Crier, they gotta make some threes today. I mean, I need between them three, 10 threes, and I feel like they can be in the game at the end and give themselves a chance to win it.
I kind of feel like if Houston can force the issue, get to some of them backcourt guys in foul trouble, and then get in the bonus early. You can keep attacking with the possibility of getting fouled and getting some free points at the free throw line with the clock stop and have those guys possibly in foul trouble. And of course, they got to make some threes when those opportunities for that to happen. I think the internet might be happening with this rain out here, but those things got to happen for them. I think to even be in this game, they got to get Duke in foul trouble. They got to make sure that they make their free throws, and every opportunity that they get to get an open three, they got to knock that thing down. They got to knock it down.
Apple juice.
Yeah, but we've been talking about Duke's depth. Like, I don't know how much foul trouble help them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's why I'm saying they got to get it. They got to get in the bonus early in the
Yeah.
contest so that they can be getting some points at the free throw line by still staying aggressive if that opportunity presents itself. Is Houston the best matchup Duke has faced so far, or will Duke beat them like the rest?
Um, Let me think. Who did all Duke play? They played Tennessee last. Was it Tennessee? No.
No, they played whoever they played last week. They ran them out the gym.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As far as defense, it is.
Alabama. They
Houston
played
supposed to have the number one
Alabama,
defense.
that's the was. Yeah.
Yeah, Houston supposed to have the number one defense. So, as far as defense, I think it probably is. But like Houston, if crying them, if them guards ain't working, making them shots, they go down to the big man. They rely on him a lot. Number 13, they rely on him a lot. But he can ball, but he also can get in foul trouble. But he only like 6'8" though. You know what I mean? I think he like 6'8", but then they got the 2 7-footers down there, Duke do. So it's gonna be a challenge for Houston.
I ain't gonna lie. I think Duke is gonna pop these boys. So I'm gonna have to say this ain't their best matchup. Arizona lost by single digits. That's the only game they won by single digits in the tournament. So I'm gonna have. And what did Arizona have? They had. That's why I said like Crier, Uzman, and Sharp. They gonna have to hit some shots because that's what Arizona did, and Caleb Love had like 30 plus on them. So they gonna have to Crier gonna have to probably take off. Uzman and Sharp probably gonna have to hit some shots, and they can be in the game. I don't think they'll win, but they can get themselves a chance to win.
Okay. Let's switch it up a little bit. Do y'all like what's going on, what you're seeing with this portal in college sports?
Man, I don't know, man. These dudes jumping in portal and your team in the Sweet 16 and crazy. I'm talking about like these parents, man. I'm like, we got to see what these parents do because these parents are saying something too. Oh, you ain't getting no run. Let's see what let's see what so and so got in store. Dude, Donaldson jumped in the portal once we got the dude for North Carolina. Now he down in Miami. You know what I mean? He down in Miami now. They jumping in portal. I don't even know. It's ugly to me. I don't like it.
Man, listen, I still got mixed views on the portal. I ain't gonna lie. It's like one morning I wake up and I love it, Then the next morning I wake up and I'm like, man, that's terrible. But I just think we still a couple years away from them like really toning the portal up, like and shaving some of the ends off of it that don't need to be there. So I like the overall idea of the portal still. I still think the portal is a good idea I just think they gotta figure out some regulations for it, and then it'll be exactly what it needs to be.
You said damn. Who is damn? Who is going to need
I
to rate?
mean, I guess it's quote unquote the NCAA, right? That's who's running the show right now. We still trying to get permission for them for things out on definitely on the football side. So it's still the NCAA, you know. Until they figure out that they need to create a coalition and kick them out. You know what I mean? Like kick, they'll figure it out eventually. We probably a decade away from them actually getting rid of the NCAA, but it's the NCAA.
All right, well, I guess this next question to go right in line with that. Is NIL and the portal a sign that the NCAA is possibly on its way out?
Oh snaps! I ain't even read the next question. I should have
Yeah.
saved that, huh?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, listen, I think the NCAA is definitely on their last leg. Like it ain't no other way around it because really the things that's gonna start happening is that the lawmakers is gonna start writing laws about certain things, and then what's gonna be the purpose of the NCAA? You know what I mean? I just don't know. I think it's gonna be like some type of committee formed from and I think it's gonna be different. It's gonna be a different outlook than it is from football and basketball because in basketball you still got multiple conferences that's respected in the basketball area, like the Big East. You know what I mean? The ACC still got respect, even though they was terrible this year. They still got respect.
Yeah.
Um, but it's way more conferences in basketball than it is football. So I think them aligning a committee to uphold rules for football would be way easier just because it ain't even as many teams. It's certain programs as D1 in basketball that's not D1 in football. That's how we got to that 352 number, and we was doing the numbers about how many players hit the portal. It's half that. I think you said it's 152. No, in
It's,
football.
yeah, it's like 150 something in football.
So you need lesser bodies to govern the whole thing. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I think it's closer in the college football world than it is in the basketball world, just because there's so many more student athletes. Well, it might not be more student athletes. It's just more programs. You know what I mean? Because football teams hold over 100, so it might be way more football players for real.
Yeah, you know what I think it is with that Neil and that Porter. I think the key word is them having agents too. You know what I mean? Them having agents gonna move the NCAA out. So why would they need the NCAA if they got an agent? They going to other schools without even checking. It, dude went to the portal. He went to another school without even getting in the portal. You know what I mean? Like, so his agent did all that without even him jumping in the portal. So I think that agent is going really do away with the NCAA because they don't need him no more. You know what I mean? They just need them to regulate stuff, but they gonna find out the way to regulate stuff without that NCAA. So with that Neil, you know what I mean? That Neil and that portal, the agents getting all that together, and that portal is just it's just something that these young cats is doing if they ain't getting no run. If they don't want to compete, you know what I mean? But so I
Hey,
think, yeah.
we gonna have to figure out a way to like um kind of regulate these agents too, man.
Yeah.
Cause like with the tampering and stuff, bro, I feel like boom, you get a strike. Boom, that next strike, bro, you should be no longer able to represent any college athletes. Like I don't know, cause I think that's what's messing up a lot of things too, for real. That tampering. I don't know if you open up investigations, you investigate it, you find that an agent did some wrongdoing and he was going through channels that he wasn't supposed to before he was supposed to be doing it. That's a problem.
Oh yeah, it is. It is. You know they're gonna use second and third parties that don't seem like the agent did it. You know what I mean? They're gonna have somebody go over there and check. Just don't tell them you with this company, whatever. Hey, what you think about so and so coming to join your team? You know what I mean? And then it's gonna be like that. And the next thing you know, he jump in the portal. He's straight over to Miami. I'm sorry, how these dudes getting in the portal so fast and then getting the team by next week. You know that's tampering.
Yeah,
Yeah,
all
you
day,
know what I mean. Like you know that's tampering.
all
Yeah,
day.
No told me about a player that hit the portal, and it was tampering immediately because Texas was his number one school, and his coach got fired the day before. You know, it was tampering, bro.
Yeah,
Man, stop it! I didn't tell you that. You almost slid down in on me. You almost slid down in on me too, man. Yeah, I am thinking I'm about to get some credit for something good, and this dude, oh
Oh
man,
man,
it's
oh
really
that's
crazy
funny.
because these freaking agents go through your parents. You got a
Yeah.
single mom and shit. Man, them agents is dirty, man. Some
yeah,
of them are
right.
really dirty, man. But I think the NCAA, they really dug their own grave, man. Because they did, for one, they didn't want to give these kids no money. When that Ed O'Bannon thing was happening, they at that point, they should have been saying, listen, this thing that got some traction. We need to get ahead of it. We need to start finding a way to pay these players. So
Yeah,
they could have been ahead of it. They could have put something in place. And then freaking portal comes. They ain't ahead of that.
nah,
They
they
already was getting dragged because of the penalty they gave SMU. That killed their SMU's program. Now they back on the rise now. And then you got the situation with Ohio State. They get a ban. All the money that was lost. Conferences is like, no, you are not taking no money. These universities want this bread. They are not allowing. That's why you know ain't nothing going to happen to Michigan because there's too much money to lose if you penalize Michigan. They're
yeah,
one of the top brands in college football. We don't care about that stuff because everybody does stuff like that when it comes to signs, man. And I think that the NCAA is dead and they're going to be gone in a little bit because they have not done what they
We got banned for less. Hell nah. They deserve some repercussions. I don't care.
well, that's over.
We
That's
got
over.
banned for
that's,
less.
that's,
It's this about bread now.
it's about bread
It's
now.
always about the money,
Yeah,
man.
but I'm saying this openly about the money now. We we,
Yeah,
we
bro.
could talk money now. You know what I mean? The colleges can talk money now. You couldn't talk back then. You
Yeah,
couldn't talk about no
exactly.
bread back then.
Exactly. So I think the NCAA is it's all but almost over. That's why you got the Big Ten and the SEC and these other conferences having conversations about what they want to do once we go to 2026 with the daggone playoffs.
Yeah.
I mean, they ain't even thinking about no NCAA. They got their own people making these having these conversations and stuff.
So do you think the end of the conferences is over? You think is more people going to join the Big Ten and the SEC if they let them in? You think that?
I really do believe it's going to become two super conferences. I really do. I think they're going to go to at least 24 teams in each conference and possibly even move them into like 6 4 team divisions and play that way.
Oh,
I
it's
don't,
gonna
I
be the
don't,
OCC
if that's
in,
how they do it.
in
I mean,
Central
if that's,
Ohio. Yeah, that's
yeah,
how they do it. It's like maybe 30 schools and like 6 teams in each conference. But what happens is you play everybody in your conference, in your division twice, and then they spread the rest of the games out between the other divisions.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, the reality is that they're gonna have to do something because w- there's no way that Florida State, Miami, Clemson are going to stay in the ACC the way it is now. They are like shit. I got to get in here. I got to get in here and get some money from either the Big Ten or the SEC. So they're probably going to make two super conferences, probably 48 teams, 24 and 24, and and run everything when it comes to football anyway. Now basketball might be a totally different story, and I can see them even splitting that way. The way you see Notre Dame just getting in playing a conference game with the ACC or whatever, you might see that kind of stuff happening too.
Yeah.
See, I think we moving to 3 super conferences because I don't think the Big Ten or the SEC want any of these other teams for real out here. So I think the ACC in football and the ACC, the Big 12, and a lot of the West Coast schools that was left out, like the Washington States, maybe Who else was out there? What's that 2-man conference? It was Washington State and somebody else.
Oregon State.
Oregon State. So them two teams, they gonna have to get with the Big 12 and the ACC, and they gonna have to go probably the top 9 teams from the ACC. But you got to think about basketball and football too. Unless you're just gonna do a football realignment, you got to take your top 9 from each conference and then band it together.
Well, those two schools already plucked the Mountain West. So the Mountain West is now those teams that was in the Mountain West, I think, are now becoming the Pac-12.
Well, this is why I like video games, because I actually was doing this little what's it called? This little experiment yesterday on college football, and I created a dynasty, and I created a whole new Pac-12, and it's some schools like I just put them in the Pac-12. But if you take the top 9 from the ACC, I took just to give y'all insight, I took Clemson, Florida State, I took Kansas, and out of the Big 12, and then I took Baylor out of the Big 12, and I just was gathering what made the most sense out of all them schools, and I just put them all in one conference. I got to about 18 teams though, you know what I'm saying? And I think on paper it looked right. You can't leave Colorado out of there either. On paper it looked right though.
Yeah.
I have to write that down and do that one day. I'm gonna have to create a stream about that one day.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I know neither one of those conferences want to add any more lower tier teams, but I mean, to be able to balance it out, I mean, hell, y'all got Northwestern in the Big Ten. We got, well, I can't say Vanderbilt anymore because they played pretty good last year, but they always going to be bottom of the barrel. They're not a football school. I don't think they have a way around it. I think that's going to be the future. They're going to have them 2 super conferences, but I could be wrong. It could be 3. But the third one ain't gonna be no super conference because they ain't never gonna surpass or catch up with the SEC or Big Ten.
Nah, but you gotta think about this too, though. You gotta align your conference with your academic goals. You know, you can't just add anybody either, too, though. But I think that third conference, they might be like, all right, football kind of wrapped up. You know, all the best teams is already in the Big Ten and SEC. We're gonna have to look about taking over basketball, you know.
I guess it could happen. What's your thoughts on what Coach Gundy said about college football teams should just go ahead and scrimmage because the NCAA ain't gonna do, and what can they do?
That's just, yeah, me too. That's just a sign that they gonna kick the NCAA out. So they just throwing them and said like NCAA can't do nothing. You know what I mean? If the 2 teams make, you know what I mean, plans to do it, even if at the neutral field, but you come to my field, I put your team up, you know what I mean, everybody in the hotels or whatever. And we scrimmage for like a week, like how they do, and then do a little game on the Saturday. NCAA can't do nothing about that. You know what I mean? What they gonna do? Punish both teams or whatever? They need to do that, man, because it help people out, man. It show you where your players at. Like we said, we'll show you if you think you got a good corner, but he keep going against the receiver, and then now he going against somebody else with the accolades totally different, and he get cooked. You be like, oh, he ain't that good then. You know what I mean? Show where your team at. I think they need to do that. But it can't be in conference though. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so Dion was the fire starter. Now we need somebody that's going to do the leg work. I think what needs to happen next in order for this to take place is we need somebody that's going to be in charge of calling different coaches around the country, and then everybody just do it at one time. And let's see what the NCAA do. Because y'all not going to sit there and be like, oh, nah, y'all not able to participate in postseason play now because y'all did this if we got enough of them. I think the goal is 20 schools. If 20 schools commit to doing this, you call around, you be like, hey, you ready to put your name in the hat? We're gonna do this whole little NFL preseason thing, this practice preseason thing that they do in the NFL. I think it ain't nothing they can do, because what they gonna say, especially if you get one big dog, maybe 2 big dogs. We talk about Ohio State or Michigan. If you get two of them type schools in there, Texas, you got to get a couple SEC and a couple Big Ten schools in there, whether or not they powerhouses or not. But I don't know. I don't think they could just sit there and be like, it's a postseason ban, or y'all not gonna be able to. You just need multiple people. You just need some rebels. You need
Yeah,
rebels.
yeah,
Yeah, I think the postseason ban that's probably out the window because anybody who runs a bowl or runs anything related to postseason, they like, dude, we doing this for the money. You ain't keeping the best teams out because they did some little funky infraction. That's not gonna happen, man. I don't.
yeah,
I think that's probably gone out the window as far as that's concerned. Because it's like Post said, probably some Post said, it's all about the money. All about the money. And I really feel like, and I don't know if either one of you have heard, but I haven't heard any coach say anything negative about the possibility of having scrimmages. Y'all may have heard or may have read it, but I haven't. No coach has said
yeah,
anything negative about it or said they wouldn't do it. Most of them that I've heard said they think it's a great idea.
Yeah,
yeah,
Ryan Day said he thought it was a great idea. He said it just didn't make sense for us. He said he think that it's a great idea though.
yeah.
Do you think he's saying it's not a good idea for y'all because of how far y'all made it in the playoffs and y'all just don't want to have to deal with that kind of a situation right now? But if y'all didn't make the playoffs, you think he would think that would be a something that they would do?
No, yeah, that's absolutely the reason why. Because he's worried about the health of the team. You know, that's the only reason why he wouldn't. He said it didn't make sense for us right now. And like I said previously, every roster across America lost 20 players on their roster. Rosters went down from 125 to 105. So health is even more important now, especially for teams that played in the postseason.
Wait a minute. Let me make sure I understand what you're saying. You saying it went from 125 to 105?
Yeah. So you lost 20 guys that you are able to have on your college football roster.
Okay, so did it go from 85 scholarships to 105 scholarships?
So I don't know what the scholarship breakdown is, but you got a certain amount of scholarships
Yeah.
regardless, period. Boom.
It was
Everybody got the same.
85. 85 is the number now.
Okay, so that's the number still, but now you're not able to have 40 plus walk-ons on your team.
Yeah.
They took 20 off. So you can only have 105 now. So that
Okay.
ain't coming out of your scholarships. That's coming out of the guys that you can keep on board.
Okay, well, I think they're going to 105 scholarships. That's why they took away them 20 dudes
Oh,
on
okay.
walk-ons or whatever. I think it's going to 105 scholarships because I think baseball was going to 34 and basketball was going to like maybe 21. What are they at now? What is basketball at now? 15?
15. Yep.
15? They
Yeah.
might be going either to 17, 19, or 21. One of those three is the number. I did a early summer, late summer video on that when I first heard about it. I was like, oh, this. Then you can develop some guys that's on scholarship because you got them on scholarship. You might as well develop them more so than you would do a walk on guy. Walk on guy is just a guy that's out there being a practice squad dummy or whatever.
Yeah. Hey, but this is a real question too, man. So how would college sports ever get rid of NCAA if that was something that was founded through the president? That was written into the law, and it was the governor. It was to govern certain issues with college athletes. That's the tricky part of trying to get rid of the NCAA.
Well, if I'm correct, the NCAA hasn't always been a part of collegiate sports. So whenever they got in, or whatever year that was that they got in, they might have got written in, but it's just as easy to write them in as it is to write them out.
Yeah, you need the
All the
president
conferences
on
got to do
board.
is just determine. Oh, that's easy. That's easy.
Yeah, you need the big guys on board. You're gonna have to get the big guys
Yeah,
on board.
yeah, that's easy though, because they see the direction that this thing is going, and they don't want to be handicapped by NCAA, who really is they just not up to speed, man. They had an opportunity to make this thing right, but Ed O'Bannon already gave them an opportunity to. They did nothing with that opportunity, man. They wanted to be greedy. They wanted to keep it and hoarding all the money. They blew their opportunity, man. So now everybody else is like, we doing this on our own anyway. Why do we even need the NCAA?
Rolled over the day that his dad passed away.
What happened?
Hey, man, what's your thoughts on this? There's been quite a bit of talk about LeBron flopping. What's your thoughts? Was he flopping the other day? Was that
The
a flop?
I'm about sick of LeBron, man. Listen, it was like 3 occasions where this dude he did something. He might have turned the ball over. He might have threw a pass or something. He just walks back on defense. I don't care about the flopping, bro. He always been a flopper, bro. But he walked back on defense, man. Hey, Kobe had a conversation with him right after he retired. And they was talking about what the Mamba mentality is. Kobe told him, man, it's about treating the game and that practice like it's a game 7 always, and it will trickle down to your team. He don't do it, bro. That's why I really despise him for real. I respect him, but I despise him, man. He don't play hard. He don't play hard for me.
You think he's trying to get bigger than the game?
He always been trying to get bigger than the game. He always been trying to get bigger than that's a whole fact. Everybody know that. That's why. What GOAT have you ever heard come out and say I'm the GOAT? I ain't never heard Michael Jordan say I'm the GOAT. I ain't never heard him say that. He always said, Dr. J. I learned from Dr. J. You know, it's hard to compare different guys from different eras. I've always heard him talk like that. You know. Well, I mean, I did hear Kobe say he kind of the GOAT. He said, "Will, me, Mike." I mean, he put himself at 2 though. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if the game had stayed the way it had been, the environment would be different. And you might not be seeing him doing some of the stuff that he's doing now. But the game has changed so much, man, from when we were watching it back when we were 10, 11, 12, teenagers, that it's just so – it's not even – I mean, you watch it because your team might be playing and you want to see them win. But to watch it for what it is right now, it's just not that exciting, you know, for some organizations anyway. But I think he just fallen in line with how whack the damn league is right now.
He the reason why the league is what it is right now, though, man. He is the reason. Yes, bro. Listen.
Okay. Explain that to me.
I'm going to explain it to you. Before Kobe went out, the All-Star game was played hard. It was played hard. But LeBron came in with this mentality that he got to be friends with everybody and buddy and whoop. So initially, the reaction of relationships is getting soft initially because he the next guy up. So it's gonna trickle down to the game. What we talking about? He the reason why, bro. He done made the game soft, bro. The old All-Star games, the 2009 All-Star games, they were played like we want to see who best, Eastern Conference or Western Conference.
You right about that.
Yeah, and it's LeBron's fault, bro, from him wanting to be liked by everybody. That's why the game went soft. That's a fact.
That's a fact, or is that just
no? It's a fact. You got to do your homework, and let's start there, like J Main said. Let's start there.
Yeah. Well, you know, hopefully once he's gone, which he'll be gone in the next couple of years, we'll see if it reverts back or if it it'll stay the same. I mean, he the face of the league right now, and he old as hell.
It's gonna be soft. It's gonna be soft for the next 30 years. You know, it's a cycle. Everything recycled though. But we got to get Adam Silver out of there. That's the league ain't gonna revert back until Adam Silver is gone because he's terrible. Him and LeBron is the main key cogs of what we seen in the NBA.
All right. Well, since you mentioned Adam Silver, let's tackle this question. What's your thoughts on Adam Silver trying to suspend Ja Morant because of the game-ending gun gesture? What's your thoughts on the gun gesture in general, and then what's your thoughts on Adam Silver trying to do what he's trying to do to suspend him?
That's some old TikTok stuff. But he got a $75,000 fine for the gun gesture because they said they talked to him after the Warriors game and he did it again like the next game. So they gave him $75,000 for the gun gesture. But you can't do that in no other sport. Well, I ain't gonna say no other sport, but you can't do that in football. You know what I mean? Football, they throw a flag. It's a person, you know what I mean? It's a foul, some kind of foul. But for him to get suspended for that, man, Ja, he could have been up there with being the face with all this gun gesture and all that stuff, trying to be a thug, and he's not like that. So,
man, they picking on him, bro. They picking on him. Like, bro already lost $8 million. You feel me? From the gun situation, he lost $8 million that year. Like, what else y'all want? Like, we out here to entertain. It ain't an entertainment.
Stop doing that. You gotta stop doing that. That's easy to stop doing it.
They did it to him too, though. The Warriors was doing it. Buddy Hield did it to him before he did it.
They need to find Buddy too. Then
I'm just saying though.
But Ja already got that rep though. Ja got that rep,
and that's my point. If he ain't had that rep, then would you be finding him? No, you wouldn't be.
That's like Gil's Arenas. If he was doing that back then and he had the rep about the gun, they'd say something about it because they want the sport to come back to the kids. You know what I mean? Like these dudes scored in 143. My team shooting up 65 threes a game, man. This is for the kids. This NBA is for the kids, bro. This ain't your
and that's true. And that's
true. Your dad's NBA, you know what I mean? NBA back then, you know what I mean? They don't play physical inside. You get fouled every time. You get fouled hard. They go to the scorer's desk to see if it's a flagrant. Come on, man. Everything is not a flagrant. It's a basketball play. It's a hard foul. Choose your two. You know what I mean? Let's get back to it. They trying to see if it's a flagrant, whatever. This NBA is soft. That's what it is.
That's true. Hey, this NBA is for the kids. And one thing I found out about the kids nowadays is that they're crash out artists.
What that mean?
That means they just don't use their brains. Like when I went to the Warner Ridge and South game earlier this season, they were about to fight in the middle of the game on the court. They didn't even shake hands after the game was over. Matter of fact, they didn't even let the last second play off. They just went to their locker rooms because they were about to fight.
Yeah. Well, you see that all on videos now, man. I seen the kid shoot a jumper and he got pushed down. Like, dude pushed him down, like boom. Do you want to fight him right then and there? I'm like, why? You know what I mean? Like, because he got crossed up and he shot a three or whatever. Like he
over basketball.
Yeah, man. Come on, man. Like, yeah, it's for the kids, man. This ain't your father's NBA.
I understand both sides to it, though. You know, I'm just saying, though. I think they picking on him.
Yeah, because I mean, it's kind of interesting because I remember back in the day watching college football, NFL football. If a quarterback throw a bomb or a good strike touchdown or whatever, they would pull out the little holster, be doing all this kind of stuff, you know. But I think now, since gun violence is I guess is shown more, not that it's increased because gun violence has always been. But since it's in the media a lot more, they probably want to tone that down because they don't want people, dealing with these guns or whatnot. But I wonder what the NRA, if they would have something to say about that, if somebody was to pose that question to them. That's pretty interesting, I guess.
All I know is All I know is I want to start seeing fines for everybody that do anything that got anything to do with a gun gesture. Just start finding everybody, but don't let me feel like you picking on somebody, one person. Yeah, find everybody.
Fair.
Yeah,
that's
you got to
fair.
make it even.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
that's definitely fair.
And I'm quite sure there's a lot of people out there that feel like John Morant brought that on himself because of what his experience has been.
Bruh, he's not like that, bruh. He's not.
Yeah. I agree with you on that.
He might not be like that, but he probably got some people that surround him like that for sure.
Yeah, because he chose that, and it's that music, that trash music they listen to.
Yeah,
and that
music
chill on the
is
music,
trash.
though, man. Yeah,
and that trash food they eat.
Yeah,
they got terrible. They got terrible food in Memphis.
They got terrible food everywhere. They eat all that crap.
Yeah.
Man, that's just because you ain't trying to eat none of these cow tongue tacos that I'm gonna whip up.
No, I'm
Yeah.
not
No, no way.
I already
Not
told
the
you the
cow
story.
tongue taco.
The
The cow
my mom
tongue
had a cow
taco.
tongue. Yeah. She had that
Man.
cow tongue in that freezer. I
Yeah.
was like, every time she cooked, I looked at that freezer to see if that tongue was gone because I knew I was eating peanut butter and jelly that day.
You know what I mean?
Oh my god!
This is the last question I got, man, and this I wonder if they're gonna ever fix this. Is it for the Los? Oh, I might have put that wrong. The Los Angeles Dodgers. If you look at their roster is ridiculous. How talented it is. Is that fair to those small market teams?
Well, what's fair? You know what I mean? Like it's like you know what I mean? It's big bank take little bank. Yankees like that too. You know what I mean? Like all these dudes that got these big revenue stadiums and stuff like that, man. They spending that money. Think about baseball. They don't mind giving you that bag, bro. You can get a bag for just playing defense in baseball.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like if you can't hit, you know, baseball you play both sides. If you can't hit, you just in that outfield and you good at catching or whatever. They give you a bag for that, man. Like so, it's like big bank take little bank. Like Oakland, you know what I mean? Oakland, they. I remember one year Oakland had the best farm team. Oakland A's, they had the best farm team. They had all these dudes that could hit, but they had to trade them off for something because they knew when their contract was up, they wouldn't be able to pay them. You know what I mean? So you that small market like Oakland, like the Washington Nationals and stuff like that. Like when you small market, you know what I mean? It's like your development players is great, but you can't keep up because the contract 2 year they're getting 2 year $100 million contract. You can't keep up with that.
Yeah.
Hey, baseball got a problem with. They need the richest people in the world to be owning these baseball teams. I'm talking about in the world. They don't got salary caps, so who gonna be able to afford teams like the Dodgers does, and their team is based out of Washington? You know what I mean? Or some of these smaller markets, Chicago. Well, Chicago not a small market, but you know what I'm saying. Like you gotta have some of the richest people in the world that own these baseball teams, bro. And now everybody got a fighting chance. But we got to think of this too. Do we honestly think that all these owners is here to like spend money and win a World Series? No, bro, they're here to make money. You know, so why not put out a product that you know your fan base is gonna come out here and see, and then you
Yeah.
can still spend this X amount of dollars, and then you know you bringing in this revenue every year. Y'all better start figuring out a way to regulate y'all sport in the aspect of how Adam Silver be finding these dudes for trying to tank and all that. That's more of the lane that they need to go down to figure all this stuff out. Because I mean, if the Yankees or the Dodgers, if they spending what 60% more money than every other team, then you got
Yeah.
a problem with your ownership base. That ain't really nobody else's problem. That's the ownerships.
Yeah. Especially if you championship ready. You know what I mean? You used to getting them championships and you know what I mean? Your team go as the championship, like Cincinnati Reds and stuff, they never gonna win. You know what I mean? They never gonna win a championship because market too little and they don't have them quality type players. You know what I mean? Once they go up for a contract, they trade them, whatever. So, you know what I mean? It's like big bank take little bank, and then it's like where are you located at? Because the Rangers will pay you too, though. You know what I mean? Like them Texas teams, they'll pay you, but they got to be in position.
Yeah. What is thing but no cap on these contracts? Would it get to the point where these baseball games ticket prices will be so high that they won't be able to fill up these seats? Because who's going to baseball games now? I mean, last game I went to was about probably in 2000. 6, 5 or 6. I went to a Cincinnati Reds Houston Astros game. I paid $57 for a ticket, and I had a really good seat for $57. But you're talking about 20 years ago.
Yeah. They said the what's the name of Ollie at the Yankees with your family, 700 easy.
Oh, that's before popcorn and hot dogs and all
Yeah,
that.
you know what I mean? Like with your family. Come on, man.
Yeah, man. Listen, I used to watch baseball. I haven't watched baseball since my grandfather died. Rest in peace, his soul, man. He was a Dodger fan too. He was from San Diego. That's what I was telling you about. No.
Yeah.
But he was a diehard Dodger fan. He'd get the MLB package when baseball season started, and then he'd cut it off when it ended. And then he'd do it. He called the company. They had started up for him at the same time every year, and that's like 5 years ago. So I ain't watched baseball since.
Man, them games be blazing, man. I know they be blazing. You know what I mean? Like you sitting out there all day in the middle of the sun. Yeah, it's different from the football game, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That can go in extra innings and all that. You out there like boom, 1 o'clock, sun beaming.
And it's not a whole lot of, where you excited in the game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Football, it's excitement on probably every other play, either offensively or defensively for your team.
Yeah.
So you're like always hype. But in baseball, shit, that's kind of boring.
If that pitcher on the run, you just sitting there, they ain't hitting. He got like 15 strikeouts in a row. You just sitting there watching dudes strike out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think really. I rarely hear about the black community pushing baseball anymore. I played baseball when I was a kid. I don't hear about nobody putting their kids in baseball anymore. Not in my age bracket.
Yeah, it's for the bread. If you want to, you know what I mean, your kid for the bread, he can get solidified on one good contract. But these dudes, everybody don't know. It's dudes been in they got a minor league and something under the minor league.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, baseball, like some of these dudes that they be on that for like 7 or 8 years, you know what I mean? Not making no money. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know. You got to be real good now.
Yeah. I mean, I think they still got baseball down at Seals Park right there off of Groveport Pike, right there by Marion Franklin. And then I think what's the name might still have a league over there too. At Woolworth Park. I think they got a league over there too. But them the only two that I know of outside of high school baseball, and probably over there in Pickerington, I think got one. Williamsburg might have one. And then way up Worthington, they might have one too.
Yeah. We already know.
They for us.
Green Line got that softball. We already know that.
Yeah. All right, well, that's all I have, homies. If y'all got something else y'all want to discuss, we can do that, or we can go ahead and wrap it up.
Man, listen, I just want to see, though, because, look, the NFL draft is coming soon. So I want to do a show where we all are playing the GM role, and we're going through all 32 picks, and we'll determine the order pre-hand, and we just go through, and we when it come our turn, we'll say who we think is going to draft, who we think that team is going to draft.
That'd be great.
We'll just do the first
round. And A-Rod gonna be a Stiller. Hate to say it, but he gonna be a Stiller, man.
Yeah, he's gonna be a Stiller for sure.
He gonna be a Stiller.
All right, that's cool.
Zay, that's a good idea. We can do that. We gotta do our homework though. Everybody gotta do
Yeah,
their
you
homework.
gotta do your homework.
Hey, well, the draft is the 24th through the 26th. So I mean, I'm thinking maybe 2 Saturdays from now on the 19th. That'll be a perfect time to do
it. I can't do the 19th, bro. I'll be on vacation.
Okay, we're gonna have to do it next week then. Cause I need you here next week, Saturday next week.
All right. Cool. Get in the chat, tell Marksburg, because it'll probably just be us four.
Marksburg gonna work a triple that day.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
We're gonna get Marksburg.
That hat nice. Yeah, he the one who bought me the hat. Nephew bought me the hat.
Yeah, that hat nice. Hey, nephew, that hat nice. I ain't no Steeler fan though.
Thank you, man.
Yeah. All right,
hey,
y'all.
Whoa. You ain't even get no word from the partner, man. My bad. I'll let you slip on that.
Oh, okay, yeah, for our sponsors. Yeah. We want to thank our sponsors for sponsoring this show, this 10 a.m. show this morning. We got our man, KT Good Eats, LLC, and Kevin J. Bird. That's BYRD on Instagram. You can find him. He got a ton of pictures of all the foods that they make, so you can have a nice little look at what they do. We also got Social Nutrition, Healthy Sips and Conversation. His younger sister Kendra Bird has that. Well, Kendra Hannon, I forgot. She's no longer Bird. She's married. She got a shop right there at 3136 South Hamilton Road, just right south of Refugee Road, right down a little hill in that little plaza. They got a lot of nice drinks that you can choose from. My favorite is the brownie batter. And I get the energy tea, which is the peach tea. I love both of those. That's what I get every time I go. And we also got our young man, the Chief. He has his own apparel line called the Chief. You can find him on Instagram and TikTok at the Chief DECHIEF .9551 Instagram and on TikTok.
Yes, sir. And y'all know what it is, man. We just completed another banger. Peace.
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 All right, I'll holler at y'all in a little bit.
Yep.
All right, this